Good morning, dear viewers and our followers, wherever you are on this daily live coverage of our program, Sunshine. I would like, the top of the morning for you and Amal.
Good morning, Fareed, and yes, good morning, dear viewers. It is a wonderful day, a wonderful beginning, a start of the week, really full of energetic and happy, as well as the shine that comes to you, dear viewers, from Sunshine. This is your host, Amal Mullah, coming to you live from the studios here in downtown Kuwait, Ministry of Information, and we hope and send to you all the gratitude as well as the love from us and from all the Kuwaitis to each and everyone out there listening and watching us, Fareed.
Absolutely, and today we have a sports night. It would be really, for all those fans of the English Premier League and also the La Liga. We have like this, the England derby.
Okay, so
it's Manchester United against Liverpool and
the Man U.
Man U, absolutely. The Man U fans, all the Liverpool fans also, they have a nice, challenging sports night and this beautiful match. And also on the other side, in La Liga in Spain, El Clásico. It's Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Well, then it is a full night full of challenges as well as some screams. I know that would happen here and there.
Absolutely. All the cafes would be full, and all the duawin, as we say in Kuwait.
And the houses, I know that all of them will gonna switch on those sports segments and channels.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have plenty of things. Let's take this a break, and after that we will go through these segments. Welcome back, dear viewers. We have a lot of reports and exciting segments. The weather forecast with Fahad Al-Atabi and also Dr. Mohammed Abdinabi, Dean of School of Engineering at ACK, Abdullah Salim and Carlos Eduardo, mixed martial arts, pro fighters, and plenty of things.
Yes, and also we will have a special guest, Karina Masiero, co-founder and director of Hashtag Kuwait. Stay tuned, dear viewers. Don't go away. How about now we check on something each and everyone are eager to look at or check out. It's the weather and the most prominent climate seasons in October with our colleague Fahad Al-Atabi. And we know that after the break, Fareed, we're going to talk all about that lovely weather. Yesterday we went out and sat in their gardens.
Absolutely. And not only that, last night I had, let's say a dinner with the kids and the family in the balcony.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was really amazing.
So it is getting the better of the weather.
Absolutely.
How about a quick break? Then we check. Is it going to be better or not that much after this break? We are back with you, dear viewers, and yes, this is what we said of the air. We said that the weather has no mistake. So how about we check the weatherman with us, our colleague Fahad Al-Atabi, and good morning.
Good morning, Amal. Good morning.
Good morning, Fahad.
Yeah, today Salmi recorded 17 degrees. Wow. Kuwait City recorded 25 degrees, and for Kuwait International Air was recorded 18 degrees. As we said, temperature getting more decreased for the next few days, and
so we will have jackets.
Hopefully soon.
Soon?
November, end of November and beginning of, you know, the new month, inshallah.
Inshallah.
For today, it's going to be rather hot with light to moderate northwesterly wind with a speed of 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Maximum temperature expected could reach 34 degrees in Kuwait City for the minimum recorded in Kuwait International Airport 18 degree, and you know the humidity could reach 40 over the coastal area. Expected weather in Kuwait City for the next 5 days, it's going to be rather hot in general by day, but it's going to be fair cool weather with northwesterly wind, but it will shift to the southeast starting from Tuesday, and some scattered clouds will appear starting from this middle week, and we are expecting some scattered rain the end of this week, inshallah. This weekend we have chances for rain over some areas, and the state of sea will be slight to moderate in general, and the wave height from 1 to 3 feet. That's all for our weather forecasting, and now let's go out to our back colleague Amal and Farid.
Thank you, Fahad, and we hope, you know, we wear jackets sooner.
Inshallah, you know, this coming November we will have a decrease in temperature. We could see like 14 degree for the minimum, and hopefully for the maximum below than 30 degree. But the good news, we're gonna have, inshallah, scattered rain this Thursday. There is a chances, all the factors
Hopefully
is completed, you know, the humidity, and we're gonna affected by low pressure starting from Monday, inshallah. And with
so we're going to see all those clouds scattered here and there, Fahad, so to have all of our photos and pictures taken with that.
Yeah, like on Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to see a lot of, you know, the low clouds.
Yes.
And you're going to wait just for the rain.
Well, that is marvelous. And how about the after sunset? I know that last night, Farid and me, I was visiting a friend with a balcony, and Farid had his dinner with his kids in the balcony. So I think it is getting cooler.
Yeah, it's getting cooler for the kids and for the old, you know, people. I recommend them to wear long sleeve.
Okay.
So you know, yeah.
So it's a balcony time now.
Yeah, it's good. With the northwesterly wind. Yeah, if you are by the sea, you're gonna feel the good air.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I think Fahad is telling us, this is Muaythia City, and Fahad is telling us, go to the seaside after sunset, have that cold or hot drink, whatever you like, but take care for your children as well, the elders. They should have a little bit of a blazer or something to cover them.
Long sleeves,
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Farid, what do we have after that?
After that, we have Kona News with you. Thank you, Fahad. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Fahad.
Dear viewers, we'll go to a break, and after that, Kona News with Amal Mullah. As for now, dear viewers, our local and international news presented by my colleague Amal Mullah.
Transition. Thank you to my colleague Farid for the introduction, and now with the headlines from Kuna. The first headline says Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman launched on Saturday the first edition of the forum supporting the Saudi Green Initiative, and that is a well done thing, and we are so happy for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. On another news, Kuwaiti shooter Abdullah Rashidi clinched a silver medal in the ISSF President's Cup Skeet event held at Loranka shooting range on Saturday. Congratulations, we always are proud of you and your colleagues. Another news says Kuwaiti Minister of Oil and Higher Education Minister Dr. Mohammed Al Faris said that his country would support Saudi Arabia and the GCC as a partner in the efforts to transition to more environment-friendly energy resources. Well, this is one of the 7 pillars of sustainable Kuwait energy that we are really going to. On another news, Kuwait Petroleum International, known by its trademark Q8, said Saturday its marketing arm Q8 Aviation has delivered the first sustainable aviation fuel SAF, or as it's called SAF, supply to Gatwick Airport in South London. We are all moving toward a better environment future. And another news says that the price of Kuwaiti oil fell by 51 cents to reach $83.9 per barrel. Kuwait Petroleum Corporation KPC said that, well, it's not that much good news, but we hope it wouldn't fall so much. On ONR's news says Kuwait Sporting Club clinched Kuwait's volleyball 2021-22 Super Cup after beating Qadsiya 3-0. Well, good luck to the Kuwait and hard luck to Qadsiya fans, but we know you're gonna get it sooner or later. This is all for the news today. How about we continue the segment of Sunshine, but after this break.
Welcome back, and thank you, Amal, for the news. And I hope, the oil and gas prices go, back again. But, it went down. But, we always, cross our fingers and try to pray to God that, the oil prices go up.
Well, Fareed, as the Economist said, I think it is going to be a cold winter. And they had a big headline saying that take care for the northern cities or the northern countries because it's going to be a harsh winter, so take all the precautions of the fuel. So that's the winter, this is what I'm hoping, it's going to get up.
And this is exactly, goes to that saying, others' problems, others' benefits.
Yes, gains.
So, increased productivity and one of the benefits of exercises, as it gives a sense of accomplishment and motivation that lasts for rest of the day. Now follow our sports segment.
Hello, my name is Jamie Al-Nassim. Right now we're facing maybe a partial curfew or a night curfew depending on what happens in the next few weeks. So we need to always have a plan to stay physically active. But what if you're someone who's pregnant at the moment and you like to go to the gym just to escape, walk on a treadmill a little bit, maybe lift with a couple dumbbells to stay active? What are you going to do at home? Well, first off, many people have the old idea of thinking that when you're pregnant, you just have to sit down, rest, do nothing. You're growing a baby, that's your job. That's partially true, but you still need to stay healthy yourself because the healthier you are, the healthier your baby will be when it's born. So we want to be able to stay physically active during the days, during the weeks, to keep moving. One thing is, if you're someone who already is lifting weights it is okay to continue lifting weights. You just have to make sure your workouts are modified so that you're understanding what's happening with each trimester, how you're going on. Always talk to a doctor, understand what's going on with your body, and be safe with moving forward in the workouts. If you're a beginner, it's just as simple as just moving a little bit, getting yourself out of your normal groove, maybe just sitting all the time and going for a walk. I'm a big opponent of the 3 10-minute walks a day, one after breakfast, one after lunch, and one after dinner. Just get yourself moving. One thing is when you are pregnant, you want to avoid laying on your back. Obviously, our stomachs are gonna grow a little bit. We're gonna be growing a baby. So when you go on your back, it's gonna put more pressure on your back when you're laying on your back. And by the 3rd trimester, you kind of really want to avoid being on your back at all costs. So simple exercises like yoga and moving around like simple circuits is going to be really effective. Being a component of yoga is going to help with stress management because you're able to relax, get away from everything for a little bit and just focus on you and clearing your mind with the type of yoga that you like. With yoga, make sure you're staying away from laying on your back and being able to be moving healthy. But don't do anything with contact sports. Don't do anything like hot yoga. Don't put too much heat onto yourself. Obviously, it's difficult in Kuwait because it is extremely hot here. Luckily, we're in the winter right now. But at home, it's just the same thing. Make sure you're moving around, make sure you're staying active, make sure you're enjoying yourself, and pick workouts that are around the new, what's going on with your body, with growing a baby. Stay off your back. And the last part is wear supportive gear because the bigger your stomach gets, it is going to be a little harder on your back. So if you can support yourself just a little bit, it will make a big difference in how you feel during the workouts. Thank you.
Hey.
We're back with you, dear viewers, and we were seeing how the sport really is good for us. But you know something, sports is not just good for us healthily or physically. No, it is as well mentally, Fareed, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially, you know, those simple, you know, and without any weights and equipment. So those simple fitness exercises really helpful, you know, especially the ones for the back pain.
Yes.
Or if you have any arms or, you know, stretching, doing some squat without any weight. These simple exercises, believe it or not, they will develop your body and you will be really fit. So we will also then can play football together.
That will be some time, not soon enough. And you know, yes, we have to educate ourselves. And by saying educate, we will go to education. And we know that education is inevitable. And people keep progressing in creating a unique method of teaching to reach that precise knowledge, Fareed.
Absolutely. Let's introduce Dr. Mohammed Abdelnabi, Dean of the School of Engineering at ACK. Good morning, Dr. Mohammed.
Good morning.
And it's our pleasure to have you here. You're a professor at the ACK, and we're really honored to have you here.
Many thanks. Thank you for having me in this program, Sunshine program. Many thanks.
Thank you.
We have the honor, Doctor, and we know that education is really the most important thing to any nation, to progress as well, to go forward. But during the pandemic, we know that thing stopped. But ACK didn't stop, that's for sure. You went online, so how beneficial was that to the children or the educationers?
Yes, it was a challenge. We started from March, immediately from March, to prepare our facilities, our system to run the online. We know that this pandemic will go for long, for a while, I mean. So we prepared our platforms, and we conducted several training sessions for our faculty, for our students. We updated our IT system. So we prepared everything before the start of the education process. So we started on April 9th to complete the spring semester, because we in ACK we are very keen that our students continue their studies with no delay in their graduation and their educational process.
Especially, Amal, we're talking about engineering and hardcore engineering.
That's your specialty, Fareed.
No, that's you know, this indicates you need a lot of labs, Dr. Mohammed.
That's correct.
Definitely, and you need hands-on experiments.
That's correct.
And that's where the obstacle comes, you know, for online. But I guess you guys go with the simulators and simulation softwares and stuff like that.
You are right. We managed that as well. We prepared our lab engineers and our instructors to conduct online lab sessions, and we equipped our labs and our students with the packages, necessary packages, to conduct the lab sessions.
Definitely. Dr. Mohammed, tell us about CDIO.
Yes.
What is CDIO?
CDIO stands for Conceive, Design, Implement, Operate.
Conceive, design,
implement, operate.
Operate, okay.
Yes. CDIO is an innovative framework producing next generation of engineers. This is the first syllabus was created in 2001. And then the standards designed and formed in 2004. And from 2004, it was spread in all countries, in all institutions all over the world. So from that time, many institutions became members in this CDIO initiative.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is really a good thing that those initiatives have started along. So you have first-hand and skills about that.
Yes.
So yes, you can.
Yes, and ACK is the first institution in the Gulf region
to have this.
Join this initiative.
That's so great.
Yes, we became a member in 2018, and we became a very active members member in CDIO, and we participated in their activities and conferences, meeting, etc.
Well, that is really leads me to a question, Doctor. Can anyone really join that forum?
Yes, any institution can join.
Great, Fareed.
But they have to give evidence and documentation how they embed their programs, the CDIO initiative in their programs. I mean, regarding the hands-on, the internship, project-based learning, and also they modify their programs to match the CDIO standards.
So,
Well,
Dr.
that's
Mohammed, if we go back to CDIO, it's conceal and
Conceive.
conceive, sorry.
Yes. Conceive, design, implement,
design.
operate. This helps students
Design,
to
implement, and operate. That's
to give a product, system, service, process.
So, what is, if I want to go more, precise, what is the main reason for creating this online forum? It's the pandemic, or it's other reasons?
This forum is not online, but we are going to conduct it in ACK and in Kuwait online because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But actually, every year there is international conference and regional meeting, regional meetings.
Because between the academic institutes.
Yes, it is international, but they divide it to regions, like Asian region, or European, Latin America.
So it's peninsulas,
Yes, yes, and we are, of course, belongs to Asian region.
So,
yes.
So they said it's better to go to that CDIO.
Yes, for engineering education, I think, yes, it is.
So this is like a trend, a new trend.
It is a new trend, and it is another mean of delivering. Yes.
Nice.
That is great.
That's advancement.
Yeah, and that makes you really curious about how are you going to conduct that CDIO in the ACK nowadays that it is open. We are offline and students are really attending, especially today is the first day in all universities of Kuwait as well is to attend their classes. So I know it's the first, you said, in the GCC, and we are proud of that as well as your accomplishments. How are you going to conduct it?
And how they will adopt it.
Yes, definitely. There was a call for hosting a CDIO meeting in 2021.
Okay.
And we considered this, okay, we are able to host this as ACK, and our faculty, our management, encouraging us to apply for that. So in 2019, I represented ACK in Denmark, in Aarhus University, and I gave my presentation why we are keen to host CDIO meeting, Asian regional meeting.
Yes.
What facilities we have, what infrastructure, and I gave my presentation at that university, Aarhus University in Denmark. And followed with a video about ACK and Kuwait.
Okay.
That video was very well prepared and very impressive. So
got their attention.
A fantastic image about Kuwait and ACK. So immediately after 15 minutes, they congratulated us. You are going to host the.
Nice.
That really did an impression.
Absolutely, absolutely got their attention.
Yes.
And by the way, Amal, ACK, they are the first institute they had this program 2+2.
That's correct.
That's true.
Yes.
So if you have a diploma, 2-year diploma,
yes.
If you finish 2-year diplomas in ACK, there is a program makes you eligible to go into another 2 years to get bachelor.
Well, that's really great.
Yes. And that was the first institute.
Yes, we are the first
to do that. And this saved a lot of, honestly, a lot of people, they are concerned about sending their kids abroad. Some of them, especially girls, in our society, sometimes some girls are, cannot be alone.
Indeed.
Because they are not used to, and the ACK provided a huge service, to the Kuwaiti society.
And just to complete my answer regarding your question. We're supposed to run this CDIO meeting physically in Kuwait.
Yes.
Because this is very good for us, for our institution, and also for Kuwait.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is a great opportunity, but unfortunately, due to pandemic, we decided to conduct it online.
Okay.
So we prepared our system, our platforms, created the website. So the website domain is cdio2021.ack.edu.kw. So we prepared that, and we sent invitation for VIPs, for institutions, for CDIO members. So we are going to conduct this fully online.
Well, that is a great news, as much as we are eager to have them physically, but online is a precautionary measures and good
Exactly.
ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. And also, I remember, you know, back then, I think it was in 2010 or 9 maybe, you had a problem in ACK, but I think you got over it, you know, by bringing the final exams from the universities from Australia and Canada, I guess.
Yes.
And then some they say some complaints, you know, came out, and you know, but this was back then, like you're talking about. What?
Years ago, yes.
Years ago.
That's cool.
Around 10 to 11 years ago.
Absolutely. The
That's
people
a long
saying,
time.
you know, we have this curriculum and this type of explanations, and you know, in the class, but unfortunately way off the final exams. You know, totally different. Not totally, but I mean, somehow different. But I think you got over that.
Yes, you are right. We discarded that actually. Now we have our own program designed by us.
Examination board.
Examination, everything.
Nice.
So now our partners just endorse the degree for us. But everything is in our hand regarding the curriculum.
I have this. Is there any new teaching techniques or methods used in ACK classes?
Nowadays, we moved to from online to blended teaching.
Oh, blended.
Yes, blended. Yes. So we divided our students 50% physically in campus.
Person,
Yes, in class.
Yeah.
And 50% online.
Online. Wow, amazing. That's good.
Yeah.
And we are very well prepared for that. We worked before the beginning of the semester. We equipped our classes with interactive TVs, with
cameras,
projectors.
Amal, this is really amazing because, you know, honestly, if you miss, let's say Dr. Mohammed has this lecture and you missed it, and let's say it's a core like microelectronics or something, and you need to go on again and listen to the explanation, that would be a good recording, you know, method. Yeah.
Honestly, we indulge our students in the education process.
Absolutely.
We prepare lectures for them. We have pre-recorded lectures uploaded for them, pre-recorded lectures.
Pre-recorded.
Live lectures recorded as well.
Nice.
In addition of PowerPoint presentation uploaded for them.
Nice.
So they have everything.
So
I can see on the monitor, Dr. Mohammed, there's this exhibition about the projects, and you have the teams of ACK.
This is the graduation.
Yes, graduation
Ceremony.
Interesting.
You have beautiful campus, by the way.
Yes.
It is,
It
and I know that you were really a pioneers in all the latest technologies to give that education another level for the students. Doctor, thank you very much for giving us all the information and for being here with us and shedding the light about the engineering department. And as we said it is CDIO. You have the whole...
Conceive, design, implement, and operate. Dr. Mohammed, Dean, School of Engineering and ACK, if you have any advice or something to say to the public, this is your time. You can see your camera and...
Yeah, I'm inviting students, faculty, and anyone who is interested in getting information about CDIO to visit our website, cdio2021.ack.edu.kw.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely. We'll have a break, dear viewers, and after that, we'll proceed with your daily program, Sunshine.
Back with you, dear viewers, and you have seen how engineers can really do something to the future. But on another matter, imagine owning your own transformers-like vehicle that could self-navigate with no conditions, park itself, or even drive you to places while you read or sleep, take your selfies and check your phones, well, whatever you wish. That's the ultimate goal of autonomous vehicles, Fareed.
Autonomous vehicles are really amazing. It's computerized, you know, it has eyes, the cameras, it has microprocessor, the mind. So if it sees an obstacle, it stops, pull the brakes. If there is an empty way, it will move. So that's autonomous, you know.
Well, that is really great. So fully self-driving vehicles are years away, we know that. But assistant driving features such as adaptive cruise controls and lane keeping assistance, Fareed, I think this is really going to be a common.
Absolutely. Let's watch this report, please, and then we'll be back with more guests.
When you think of driverless cars, you probably don't envisage a human sat in the front. In this case, though, there's no driver behind the wheel, but a safety operator in the passenger seat. It's a feature being used by self-driving startups like Cruise and Pony.ai, which started testing their cars in some parts of California this year. For Pony.ai, which has backing from Toyota Motor Corp, it's only a temporary measure, according to CEO James Peng.
So the safety driver has a red button that can stop the vehicle just in case there's anything happens. Although rarely we see the safety driver actually use that. So that will be only for a transition period. Next year, our plan is we'll have fully driverless, means we'll have no safety drivers in the vehicle. It will be completely fully driverless.
Even then, though, a remote operator will monitor vehicles and provide guidance when the vehicles run into trouble. Cruise, majority owned by General Motors Co., started operating 5 driverless vehicles in San Francisco at night in October, with a human in the front passenger seat. According to a spokesperson, the Minder has the ability to stop the vehicle at any point during the ride. Cruise says it sees the development of self-driving vehicles as not only a tech race, but also a trust race. Alphabet Inc.'s Waymo has been developing self-driving tech for more than a decade and launched the world's first commercial robotaxis in Phoenix in 2018. But it still keeps humans in the loop, monitoring and assisting the fleet, from responding to riders' questions to remotely giving a second pair of eyes in tricky situations. The continued human presence in what are supposed to be software-driven automated vehicles underscores the challenges facing the industry. With no end in sight to the technical and regulatory obstacles to free-range driverless robotaxis, some self-driving companies are accepting the need for human minders and scaling down their ambitions. So, according to interviews with investors and startup executives, they can start generating revenue in the near future.
Definitely autonomous cars are, going to be the future, but let's go for an important topic, dear viewers. It's seasonal eating is a sustainable way of changing your diet that has health advantages. This lifestyle encourages you to only eat fruits and vegetables that are in season for your geographic area.
Yes, indeed, Fareed. The focus of the diet is on fruits and vegetables because their growth depends on season-specific weather. In season can mean different things for different regions and countries. So how about we have with us here Karina Masiera, co-founder and director of Trash Tag Kuwait, to tell us all about that. Good morning and welcome to the sunshine.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Karina. You know, we will start with you. You know, saying seasonal and you saying geographic area, these two things, you know. So tell us about that, you know, the local and seasonal and, you know, fruits and vegetables. So tell us why we should go for our fruits and vegetables that were, you know, planted in our country and why we have to eat the fruits and vegetables that is now coming out, not somebody else or winter somewhere else on the other side of the earth.
Exactly. So I get asked a lot, actually, you know, Karina, what are ways I can be more sustainable? What are ways I can be more environmentally friendly? And I feel like our diet really gets overlooked, and it's very important to shop, you know, in season when you're grocery shopping, to pick things that are growing in Kuwait, things that are in season, that were not transported from somewhere else. Because when you get, like, let's say you go to the store and you're craving strawberries, but it's June. We don't grow strawberries in June.
Absolutely. So they bring it from the States.
They bring it from the States or they bring it from Spain, and you really don't know where it came from. And the issue is that when it gets to you, it's traveled by plane, it's traveled by so many different areas, it's traveled miles and miles to get to you. And then that's so much pollution in the air, it's greenhouse gases. You know, we always want that exotic fruit, we always want this ingredient for our gathering, and we enjoy that. We enjoy food.
And more, you know, being more
Specific
and open and realistic. It's not because if we eat this strawberry coming from the States, not in time to our local area and season, it's not we gonna be sick.
No, of course not.
Good. So we have to clarify this for the viewers.
Yeah, of course. Well, there is one thing that comes with that. So fruits and vegetables, produce, you know, things that are imported, they're genetically modified to be able to resist transportation.
Absolutely.
So they're hardened, you know, so that way they don't arrive completely in a disaster. So there is that concern. I personally don't care about that too much. It's not that much of a difference, you know, in my opinion. But of course, there are food purists that will say, no, I don't want anything modified. So there's that. But truthfully, I think it's perfectly safe for your health.
So you're saying the coast that, you know, and you know, for that, and this air pollution.
It's the environmental cost.
The aftermath of that.
Exactly.
The aftermath of bringing them in. So someone would say it's seasonal and others would say it's local. What's the difference between them?
Well, local means what's growing around you. So some people, like in the United States, they consider local something that grows within a 400-mile radius. Local to some people means regional as well. But it's really important that you focus on what's local and what's in season, so that way you know that it was something that was grown naturally. And you know, mashallah, Kuwait, we have generations of farmers that have made so many advancements.
In Wafra, for example.
In Wafra, in
This is local.
Yeah, exactly.
Abdali, Wafra, this is local.
And they've made so much advancements to, you know, hardened species, so that way we can grow it here. We have melons, we have pumpkins, strawberries, you know, lettuce now, mashallah. Who would have thought we can grow lettuce in the desert?
Exactly. And
lemons and apples.
Exactly.
And so you saying, in other words, it's okay if you make this environment, healthy environments for that kind of plantation, which is cannot be grown in the desert. There's no problem with that, even if you make this fake environment. Not fake, but let's say the artificial.
Modified.
I think modifications are good. You know, we always modify. That's what technology has given us. You know, it's sort of a blessing. There are certain plant species, like I think a few years ago, Saudi Arabia banned farmers from growing lots of different plants because the water was a lot, you know, to sustain it. And then it was unsustainable. You know, if you're pouring gallons and gallons of water into one small plant, you know, it's not sustainable. You're wasting water. water.
It's not feasible.
But I think for the most part, farmers, you know, they're thinking costs as well. So they're not going to pour a bunch of money, a bunch of water resources into one small fruit.
Well, this is what they say, farmers. So if we were in Kuwait and we had that local fruit or local vegetable, would it eating it now and then going to another country and having their locals, does it really vary or differ from here to there?
It does, because you have to think about the effect on the environment, you know, what it took to bring you that. It's not like back then, you know, we've loved trading since the beginning of time. Spices, fruits, vegetables, we love trading. We love trying things from everywhere. But back then, you know, mashallah, they waited. Now if we want to strawberry, we go immediately to the Jam'iyya. And I'm just using strawberry, you know, as a reference, but there's so many things in our life that we have imported. And we truly take it for granted because we don't consider moderation. We don't consider what it took.
We used to eat flake, you know, coming from London. So you remember that, you know?
Chocolates, those are the days. So yes, in the past they used to wait too much because the caravans are used to be from camels and there are no ways and something. They were sustainable, Farid.
But don't you notice nowadays, like, there is consumption of local fruits and vegetables in Kuwait? Why do you think this? What's the reason?
I think people are starting to become more invested, especially in the lockdown. Mashallah, a lot of people took up gardening. I know I wasn't the only one. So I think people are starting to become more invested and have more of a connection with locally grown food and, you know, gardening in general. And I think that that's something really beautiful and it needs to be encouraged. And it needs to be educated as well so other people are aware that the benefits of, you know, taking something locally.
Yes. So what are the problems if we didn't consume that local fruits or vegetables?
You really have to consider the effect of the travel. The effect of travel, it really contributes to greenhouse gases. You know, I think transportation makes up like between 15% of the carbon footprint on imported foods, which is a lot. So it's all about reducing your carbon footprint and making sure that you're not having a terrible impact on the environment.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, how about the hydroponic farms? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was really surprised. You know, I found out recently that Kuwait has one of the largest hydroponic farms in the region. It's called Fasalia Farms, actually. And they do provide us with produce, you know, leafy greens, vegetables, fruits. And
I mean, when you say hydroponic, is this like, you know, that environment we create for this certain plantation?
Yes, exactly. So hydroponics is a subcategory of horticulture. So you could say gardening or farming. And basically it's grown in water, which is why it's so special, because by creating it in water, you use 90% less water than you would in traditional farming, because it has soil, you have to moisten the soil and all these things. So you're using 90% less water. You're not using the same pesticides you would, because there's not going to be bugs and critters inside the soil. So there's no harsh pesticides. There's no harsh fertilizers either. So there's less agricultural waste, there's way less water waste, and really the water is so important. You know, we've talked about water before. We're number 7 for water stress regionally. We don't have enough water in Kuwait. So for us to reduce the amount of water that we have in growing food, it's a huge advancement.
That's a plus.
So you just said a little while ago that during the pandemic and the lockdown, a lot of people really went to gardening in their own homes. So how would that affect really the environment, the locals about the vegetables inside our homes?
I think that would be beautiful if everyone, you know, started gardening communally. I think that that would be such a great thing for the environment, because we would be able to have so much more greenery. People would be so much more invested. They would have a connection with what it is that they're eating. You know, and we could make sure that things are actually grown ethically. You know, like a couple of years ago, there was
just a minute, ethically, what does that mean?
Yeah, ethically is when something is grown, you know, without the suffering of something else. So quite recently, moral, exactly.
Akhlaqi.
I keep going back to strawberries, but quite recently.
You like strawberry, I guess.
I guess.
It's the season.
Most of the ladies, you know, like strawberries. Yeah, that's true.
Antitoxins, that is.
Yeah, quite recently there was an issue with strawberry fields in Spain, and Spain is one of the largest producers of strawberries, but they had lots of migrant workers that weren't being paid. They were facing abuse. You know, so when you grow something yourself, you're cutting out the supply chain. You know, you're producing it yourself. You're making sure that it's produced ethically, and if everyone contributed to that, we'd have a much greener Kuwait, truly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's go back to the seasonal and local. Do you think in your mind, you know, the best way to raise awareness of eating local and seasonal vegetable and fruits?
I think it's about starting with your kids, you know. The more connection your kids have to food and they see it being grown and they feel connected to it, in the long run, we'll have a much greener country. You know, we'll have individuals that really value, oh, this is in season, I'm going to take this.
Yes. And how about if we want to say how important to have harvest and buy from locals? We know those, I know that we are supporting the ones that here in Kuwait. So what are the more benefits about that?
You get to support the environment, you get to support local farming. It's something so beautiful because we can all come together and, you know, like really celebrate, hey, we grew this. This is something that came from our country.
Yes, that's really fun.
And it's, you know, money for everybody.
That's true. Supporting local economy.
Supporting local, that's so right. And, you know, it is one of the 7 pillars, the sustainable environment as well as to have the agriculture here in Kuwait to make it really
and minimize dust. So.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyway,
you very much, Karina.
Karina Masera, thank you very much. It was really a benefit, you know, and definitely we will go to local and seasonal fruits and
For sure.
vegetables.
Support locals and support the farmers that are in Kuwait, and try to have a little bit of those herbs gardening in your houses, as Karina and all of us do have. Thank you very much, Karina, for being here with us. Now, how about a quick break to continue the segments of Sunshine and more guests?
We urge everybody, dear viewers, you know, to eat local and seasonal vegetables and fruits, and it's really benefit.
It is very, and you know, from local, seasonal to another place. I think you're taking us.
Absolutely. Let's go to the Egyptian Museum. Is the oldest archaeological museum in the Middle East and houses the largest collection of pharaonic antiquities in the world.
Indeed. The museum displays an extensive collection spanning from the pre-dynastic period to the Greco-Roman era. How about we watch this report from the Egyptian Museum and have fun a little bit with it.
The Egyptian Museum is the oldest archaeological museum in the Middle East and houses the largest collection of pharaonic antiquities in the world. The museum displays an extensive collection spanning from the pre-dynastic period to the Greco-Roman era. The architect of the building was selected through an international competition in 1895, which was the first of its kind and was won by the French architect Marcel Dourignon. The museum was inaugurated in 1902 by Khedive Abbas Hilmi II and has become a historic landmark in downtown Cairo and home to some of the world's most magnificent ancient masterpieces. Among the museum's unrivaled collection are the complete burials of Yuya and Tuya, and an armor palette commemorating the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under one king, which is also among the museum's invaluable artifacts. The museum also houses the splendid statues of the great kings Khufu, Khafre, and Menkora, the builders of the pyramids at the Giza Plateau. An extensive collection of papyri, sarcophagi, and jewelry, among other objects, completes this uniquely expansive museum.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You know, from Egypt back to Kuwait University, and university students return to classrooms and traditional study with joy and smile on their faces.
Yes, indeed, Fareed. They are finally returning to the traditional classroom by beginning of the academic year 21-22. How about we see what our colleague, the amazing Idaij Al-Hotari, has for us at Kuwait University. And good morning, Idaij.
Good morning, my colleagues at the studio, and good morning, everyone who's watching us through the TV screen. This is Sunshine Program, and I'm Idaij Al-Hotari, reporting live from Kuwait University in Shidadi area. Now, today must be very thrilling for the students and also the staff after a quite long time of a break. Almost 1.5 or 2 years of staying at home, studying online. I mean, there's nothing wrong about it, but the feeling of being in classrooms, meeting new classmates, interacting with the instructors, doctors, professors, it must feel different. There is a feeling to it. We all miss those days when we are tardy to the class because of, you know, trying to find the parking, or maybe the streets are crowded. So it has this feeling, even though it's a bad thing, but it leaves a mark. So basically today marks the very first day of the students attending the university and coming back to the classrooms. With that being said, we've got the Dean of College of Arts, Dr. Abdallah Al-Hajri, with us to elaborate and tell us more about this beautiful experience and this beautiful day. Good morning, Dr. Abdallah. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's great. Today is one of the best days after 2 years of stopping teaching and meet the student, interact with. After this pandemic, you know, yes, we are so happy. Tool College of Art, we have 6 departments in College of Art, different students. So we are today so happy, and I can tell all the students in our college now, all in the university in general, they are, you know,
they're thrilled, they're excited.
Of course, yes.
So what's your thoughts about how the students are feeling now, since in like the last 2 years they were studying at home and now they are suddenly back to university? It must feel different. So what do you think about this feeling?
I can't tell my feeling, not the student, because I saw many students today, but all the faculty of College of Arts so happy today to meet the student. We see the street, it's crowded now with the traffic and everything now is going back, and we want to make everything in our college, it's going smoothly to meet the student. And when I met the student in the morning, they are so happy. They want to go back to the school. They want to interact with their teacher. So everyone now, faculty and the student, are also a family. You know, I'm also parent. My kids today going to the university, so happy that I'm so proud of them. I want to go to the university, see the faculty, the student. We would like the life to go back as normal as usual.
And alhamdulillah, this is actually a great news, and the life is coming back to the normal state. Now, one more question before we conclude this interview with you, Mr. Abdallah. Now, there must be some conditions for students to attend and arrive to university and enter classes. Do we have any here?
Of course, the safety of the student and the faculty is the most important for the faculty and the university in general. So we also, all the conditions that we have in the Kuwait University, we have it. The VCR, it should be mute, everything, you wear the mask, everything, you know, the safety is the priority of our college and the university in general.
Thank you so much. So safety comes first. Do you have anything else you would like to mention, Doctor?
I'd like to thank Kuwait TV for this interview. I would like to welcome all the students, and we are so happy to go back to the school, to the university, to see our students. The feeling today is so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah Al-Hajri, for elaborating and telling us about your thoughts and feeling about those students and, of course, the faculty for the return of university. Now, it must be a very great day today for the students because, as I mentioned earlier, it has a great feeling for it. Being interactive with the instructor is way different than being at home at your comfort zone, studying online. I mean, yeah, again, there's nothing wrong about it. There has to be some alternatives to whatever we face, but today is just a great day, and I can tell you that the university life is just different. And also, with that being said, we have another guest with us today, Dr. Hussein Murad. He's wonderful. I can tell by his smile, he's excited for being back to the university. Good morning and welcome to our show, Dr. Hussein.
Good morning to you, Daej. Good morning to Amal, and I think Farid is over. Good morning to all the viewers on KTV2, and thank you for having us. Thank God we're back, finally, you know. Well, it's been 2 years, almost 2 years, of stopping the whole education system here in Kuwait, and we went online. Online education was pretty okay. I wouldn't say good, but when it comes to in terms of quality of education, it wasn't great, especially that it was our first experience. Being said that, coming back to university, especially before that, we had our kids going there, so we were just warming up a little bit, you know, taking our kids early in the morning, then now welcoming our students here at Shdadia campus.
Now, Doctor, let's talk more about the feeling and your thoughts actually of the students coming back. And like, have you ever met any of them right now before they have their classes started or not yet? We want to know more about their opinion, and especially if you think about it, for 2 years ago, some of the students were freshmen and they started their university life or year online at home. So they haven't actually experienced the real feeling of being in an actual classroom, meeting their classmates, interacting with their instructors. So this is just a way different feeling for anyone who started their fresh year. And that's actually unfortunate because they missed quite a lot. I mean, the fun, the education, and the whole thing, the whole experience comes in the university. So let's talk about that.
Well, the university experience, it's really not really changeable for anybody, especially that you get to meet people, you get to interact, and socialization. Socialization is really important in order to develop the right decisions, the right education for the students. So yeah, unfortunately for the students who were a couple years ago freshmen or just enrolled in the university, they didn't have this experience, and they might have some you know, like fear about coming back to school, the corona, getting infected, those kind of things. I would assure them that it's going to be a whole different experience with the right precautions, the safety precautions here we have at the College of Art. We're checking their immune through the system. We're checking their temperature, as well as wearing the mask inside. Even though outside we don't wear masks, but I do have mine with me here once I go inside. But being said that, we make sure that the safety is #1 for our students. I haven't interacted with the students yet because it's early morning, but I've been with students for the past month. So they come by sometimes, I chat with them online. So most of the time we are in communication, and I've been telling them, coming back to school, being in a regular classroom, you'll get more, you'll understand more, and you'll do better in your career.
Indeed, that's actually right, totally right, and I 100% agree with you, Dr. Hussein Murad. So do you have anything else you would like to mention before we conclude this lovely interview with you?
Well, I would like to say a couple of things. One of them, first, I would like to welcome the freshmen here at the Shidadia campus. I would tell them, enjoy this college experience. Don't be afraid to ask. Our doors are open anytime, but not until 3 o'clock though, but we're during regular times. We would like to help, and we're thrilled to see you back. Even for also not only for the freshmen, also for the continued students. We would like to welcome them here. We're here to help them out. We were here for a pleasure journey of education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So with that being said, dear viewers, we have reached the end of this live coverage from Shidadia campus. Now, congratulations for those who graduated during the pandemic and the times where we stayed at home, studied online. And best of luck for those who just started. And that was the end. Of course, right now, I will go back to my colleagues, Farid and Amal at the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Daej, and I would like also say thank you to Dr. Al-Hajri and Dr. Hussein Murad, for all this clarification about the new freshmen and the new season and new semester, in Shidadia campuses. It's really amazing campuses. We really thank you, Daej. It's amazing report, and Amal definitely will have a phone call, but after this break.
We're back with you, dear viewers, and what a wonderful pavilion as well as Al-Shidadia campus.
Oh, yeah.
You have seen it, Farid. It is great. And if we want to really educate children, or we want to educate the community, and it is the nations worldwide, that is the head step. That's what will really get them up. Absolutely, absolutely. You need facilities, and this I mean, educational institute. Definitely, we need good facilities to let people go and be attracted to educational. Indeed. I guess we have a phone call. A phone call. Indeed. And it's Tatiana Cullen, head of UNICEF office in Kuwait, and UNICEF Early Childhood Development Advisor for GCC countries. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Tatiana, and your deal program, Sunshine.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me over. It's a pleasure to be with you.
It is always a pleasure to have speaking with you, Tatiana. And tell us today, really is a remarkable day. We know that United Nations Day is celebrated today across the world. So what is significance of this United Nations Day celebration?
Thank you very much for this question. Indeed, today is October 24th, and as many of your viewers know, The United Nations was created on October 24th, 1945, right after World War II ended, with the main objective to assure that nothing like World War II ever happens again,
Exactly.
and that the future generations of people on Earth stay safe and prosperous. And today, UN has 193 member states, which makes United Nations the largest and most influential international organization. And its objective is, besides preserving peace and promoting cooperation among nations, also protecting human rights and promoting development and well-being of all. So your conversation about education that I had a privilege to hear a little piece of before I came on, it fits exactly there. And I just wanted to underline that over the last 76 years, significant gains were made in all of these areas that UN is focusing on. Many nuclear treaties were signed, more than 70 peacekeeping missions were done, a number of conflicts were mitigated, human rights treaties were adopted by all the countries, specifically the ones related to children, women, persons with disabilities, displaced people. Many people were helped in humanitarian situations, but most importantly, lots of indicators like child mortality had significantly decreased, poverty had decreased. The highest number of children go to school today than ever before. Women's health and well-being was improved. So the significance of today, I believe, is that these big celebrations show that the leaders of all countries in the world realize that the UN is needed, not only to provide support, protection, share knowledge and help to those who most need it, but also to unite the world and provide the forum for all the countries to discuss common problems and find common solutions, because we all live together and share the common future. We have to shape it together.
Tatiana Colin, absolutely, 76 years, you know, there is no, really, it's a long journey, and it's a privilege and honor to be a part of this big body called United Nations. But still, Tatiana Colin, there is responsibilities you have to, look after, and you have to really address, Africa, conflicts in the Middle East, and and starvation. It's really shame, Tatiana. It's still really shame in a human being history that we have people cannot have food on table. People cannot have water, to drink. I mean, could you elaborate on that?
Absolutely, and thank you for pointing it out. In spite of all the gains that were made, significant issues are persistent. While some countries are doing really, really well, in others we are having huge problems. I will not get now into, sharing vaccines and sharing knowledge. That's why I think the most important role of the UN is to convene all the countries so that they can discuss common problems and find common solutions. Indeed, there are people around the world who have no access to clean drinking water. There are children who are still starving. There are still conflicts where there is lots of problems and displaced people. We really need to step up our game, all of us together, the member states, 193 countries that are members of the United Nations, and the core staff, including all UN agencies that are present here.
For sure. Tatiana, I know that this year...
If I may just comment Kuwait, because Kuwait is one of the biggest partners and donors for UN in the implementation of programs in other countries.
Yes, for sure. And we want to just shed the light a little bit about the slogan of the United Nations this year. It's to advocate youths for the climate change and sustainable environment, isn't it?
Yes, and this is exactly what we're talking about. about the UN role to get everybody together and address the biggest problems. And I think that we will all agree that climate crisis is clearly one of the most burning issues we are facing today. And we need serious action not only from the leaders of the world to stop activities that are worsening the climate crisis, but also we need out-of-the-box innovative ideas from young people to help find solutions. And because it is the children and young people of today who will face the worst effects of climate crisis.
That's so true.
So I can only say bravo to the young people of Kuwait because far from being passive observers, young people of Kuwait are not only demanding greater action to fight climate change, but even more, they are finding solutions.
Yes.
On the occasion of the UN Day, yesterday and today in the UN House, there is a big exhibition of absolutely amazing work and innovative solutions that originated in Kuwait and were implemented by Kuwaiti young people. Dozens of entrepreneurs and organizations.
That is really marvelous, Tatiana. And I know, yes, I know how much effort you, as much as your colleagues and in Kuwait, the teachers everywhere, as well as the scientists, really giving so much for the environment, and we are looking forward to checking that report. So thank you very much, Tatiana Colin, head of UNICEF office in Kuwait and UNICEF Early Childhood Development Advisor for GCC countries. How about a quick break, then getting to continue the sunshine. Back with you, dear viewers, and another kind of sports. MMA is used to describe any modern style of martial arts, which incorporate techniques and theories from several sportive martial arts. Farid?
Absolutely, martial arts is something amazing, and MMA styles which incorporate a mixture of ground fighting, stand-up striking, and taking down in their training. Let's introduce our guest, Abdullah Salim, mixed martial arts pro fighter. Abdullah, it's a pleasure to have you here, and so you are good in fighting. If I have a fight, I will take you with me, right?
No, street fights, no, only professional fights. Thank you for having me, and good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, Abdullah. I know that each kind of us, if he loves a sport, he would start from somewhere. So when did you really start?
I started my mixed martial arts career when I was 18. I started with training jiu-jitsu and a modern type of taekwondo where it incorporates boxing too. So it was kicks and punches where usually taekwondo is just kicks.
Okay.
So
18.
So this is like, Abdullah, is this like where the cage is?
Yes, yeah, we usually fight, the event takes place in a cage, yes.
Okay. And you guys have these semi gloves, like, you know, the boxing, but not complete, like they have uncovered, you know.
Yes, correct. We have smaller gloves.
Smaller gloves,
I think it's 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
And yeah, your fingers are exposed because you have to grapple.
Okay.
And you can wrestle. So you need your fingers to be free.
So in this, what you call martial arts, or, you know, there is plenty of like kinds of fightings and also techniques. For example, you're saying you took jiu-jitsu with judo and taekwondo, sorry, jiu-jitsu and taekwondo with boxing, a bit of boxing. So has the fighter to be like really knowledgeable of these kind of fights, to be really tough in the ring, or?
So that's when I first started. That's the sport that I started with.
Okay.
But no, eventually as you grow as a mixed martial artist and as a fighter, you need to learn more techniques from all the sports. To be a perfect, well-rounded fighter, you need to try boxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, yes, every sport. And you need to take what you think works. And then you make your game. This is what makes the sport so unpredictable, and it's why it's fun to watch, because every fighter comes in with a special set of techniques, and you're rarely going to see a copy of a fighter. Every fighter has his way of fighting.
So you have your own way in attacking or tackling that game. I want to talk about a number, 59, and that's a tournament. It was in Cairo. Can you tell us all about it? What medal did you have? How did you go? When did you go?
So about a month ago, I went to Cairo and I had my second pro fight there. It was a martial art event held in Cairo, and me and a couple of my friends went there.
So that's your picture?
Yeah, that's me coaching jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So you went to the tournament and you got medals?
Yeah, I got first place.
Your coach?
This is one of my coaches. This is my boxing coach. These are my friends that I train with.
What medal did you get?
I got a gold medal.
Fareed, you see? We've got a gold winner here with us in the studio.
Absolutely, he's a champion, you know, definitely.
Yeah.
And this is how you train?
Yeah, this is how I train. This was in Brazil for my first pro fight. I went to Brazil and I fought there. This is a coach, Tiago, a strength and conditioning coach there. Right now we have more tournaments coming up, and we have a coach here with us in Kuwait, Eduardo. He's from Brazil also. He's a black belt and a pro fighter with a really good record, and he's very experienced in the martial arts world.
Yes.
And thanks to the Kuwait Olympic Committee for providing us with such an amazing coach for us to be able to compete with the highest levels of the sport.
Well, I think you have to love sport to do all of those exercises, Abdullah. Just imagine me, Fareed, doing that. It's really hard work.
That's a lot. That's a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. You need to sacrifice all your time to be able to do it at the pro level. Exactly.
Abdullah, I mean, aren't you okay? Definitely, there is the always thought of injury, thought of failure. You know, we always, hate failure. We are scared from failing. I mean, how would you maintain this, to have this attitude? I'm a winner. I'm a fighter. What would you do? Like meditate or?
No, I first of all, I never think of myself as I'm a winner. I'm a fighter. I go to each fight. I might lose and I might win. There's no guarantee.
So you are like more realistic. Logical.
I focus on what I learn. I focus on my techniques. I focus on what I know I can do, and I just go in there and I perform. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you get hurt, but that's all part of the game. That's what makes it so interesting and so addictive. It's like you never know. It's not boring. It's not one-dimensional.
Absolutely.
It's all these things that you said are a possibility. They're always a possibility, but you just do your best. And hope for the best.
I can see a smile upon Fareed's face when you were talking about you can be injured, but this is the fun, because he really is into playing football, and I know he gets injured all the time, but it's fun for him. He cannot quit it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can't stop,
you can't quit. That's
true.
You can't. But tell us, how would you make people? I mean, how you got really became really. I mean, it's your desire to be MMA. I mean. It's just like, you watch some championship or tournament?
When I was younger, I used to watch WWF, and that was interesting to me until I knew it was
fake.
Not kind of fake, but it's really a tough sport. It's a tough sport.
Banging and
it wasn't what I expected it to be. And then when I found out about MMA, I really got my interest as a younger kid, and I pursued that interest. And I was happy with it, and I continued. it was satisfying. I don't know, it's just something inside me that got my attention.
Is this like you have a job, or this is your full time?
No, I'm actually an environmental engineer. I work at the EPA, but this is in Kuwait. I have to work and I have to do this job. Hopefully someday we can be. This could be my job, but for now I have to.
Oh, so you work and
okay.
Yeah, of course. But I get support from the Olympic Committee, from the youth sports. Ministry of Youth Sports here. They give me sometimes, like for events, if I have a tournament coming up, they give me time off of work where I could focus on my sports.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this is really great, and I know that a lot of youngsters are watching or gonna watch the Sunshine. So any last words, Abdullah, to give them more advice?
Or any championship coming ahead?
Yeah, I talked about a championship that's coming up in December, and that's why we have Carlos, our coach, here to help us, me and a few guys from Kuwait. Any young person who's interested in this sport, they should pursue it. They should start searching about it, searching where to go. We have a lot of good places here in Kuwait. Currently, I'm training at Tiger Squad. It's a gym in Kuwait. That's where my training is, and I think it's a really nice gym to start if you have an interest. Look into it. And
Abdullah, we wish you the best, and definitely we hope that you win a gold medal and be the champ, because you are like representing Kuwait and you are from Kuwait, and definitely we are proud of you.
Inshallah, hopefully we'll do our best to get the medal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Inshallah. I think he got us a medal and much, much more. We are waiting for those girls. Thank you very much, Abdullah Salim, mixed martial arts, pro fighter. You know, all of those sports really are good for yourself. Yesterday, I was talking to a lot of people, and today we have education, sports in this segment of Sunshine today. Well, I know if you are going to be up to the top, you have to work for it. And we have worked for this episode with all of our colleagues, and I think it's going to be a good one. And I think everybody loves it as much as we did.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we reached the end of this episode of your daily program, Sunshine. Thank you very much for, following us, and we wish you the best. See you tomorrow with a new episode. Good day.